Hello again, everyone. Edwin Laird back once again in this YouTube astrological segment. I'm going to be talking about Mars in conjunct Saturn in a natal chart. Now, some of you may remember when I first started my YouTube astrology channel, I did a series on the aspects in the natal chart. They were a little bit concise. Some people may have referred to them as snappy. So what I decided to do was make another series on them in which the videos would be a little bit longer and more descriptive. So anyway, first thing up is, well, if you have Mars in conjunct Saturn in the natal chart, an adjustment may be needed. An adjustment is the inconjunct. May be needed between activities you have an enthusiasm for, which is Mars, and career-related matters, which is Saturn. What could happen is what you may have an enthusiasm for may monopolize your time to the expense of career-related activities or vice versa. It could be where you're dominated at times by career-related activities to the exclusion of what you have that strong enthusiasm for, which is Mars. So, the key is to find the balance and equilibrium between the two. Now, let's say if Saturn is in Pisces, as an example, career-related activities, may be tied in with altruism, helping those less fortunate, poetry, dancing, photography, anesthesiology, chemistry, or the metaphysical, which includes astrology, as an example. Now, another thing, too, is there may be an imbalance between the activities that are associated with sexual partners, which is Mars, and the father, which is Saturn. Again, you may be dominated by one or the other. Inconjuncts can be strong, vacillation and distortion of energy. It could be where you're doing, in this case, a lot of activities that are, connected with the sexual partners, and they monopolize your time to the expense of, the activities that are associated with the father, or you may be so dominated by matters with the father that you put the sexual partner to the back burner, so to speak, for a prolonged time period. So the thing is, and again, it's about finding that balance and equilibrium between the energies. Now, let's say, if Mars is in Taurus, as an example, one or more sexual partners may actually be a Taurus sun, moon, or ascendant person, or simply embody the characteristics of the sign. It could be those that are persistent, patient, persevering, trustworthy, stolid, impassive, placid, calm, but may also be stubborn and obstinate as well. Now, another thing, too, is that there may be either too much or too little enthusiasm, which is Mars. Also, the drive and motivation is connected with Mars. For laborious work, which is Saturn. Now, the thing is, let's say, if your Saturn is in the zodiac sign Cancer, as an example, laborious work may be connected with home and family-related matters. It may be doing something with cooking, plumbing, laundry, restaurant, work, real estate. It could be working as a home caregiver. It could be just simply taking care of a home or family member. And the thing is, you may also, there may be times where there's just so much exuberance and enthusiasm, which is Mars for these matters, and other times it just may be, apathy city, where you may be just very apathetic regarding those activities. Now, also, too, another way Mars in conjunct Saturn may manifest or pan out in a natal chart is there may be too much or too little concentration, which is Saturn, on matters that are associated with action and leadership, which is Mars. Now, let's say, if Mars is in Virgo, as an example, leadership, prowess, and ability may be expressed at one's place of work or employment. Maybe you inspire others, or you can be a leader in terms of health and fitness, such as if you're at a health and fitness club, as an example, and you're showing others, mentoring them how to, work out, properly, and, just taking action in something, like that, showing the initiative, is, as an example. And the thing too is, another thing about Mars in conjunct Saturn, in the natal chart, is that if you have any issues that are connected with the knees, the bones, the hamstrings, joints, or gallbladder, which is Saturn, because those body parts are anatomically connected with Saturn, it may either have, tremendous, impact in terms of your vitality and energy, which is Mars, or none whatsoever. It could be, or maybe there's so much pain, and anguish at times, or difficulty with those matters that it just, has such a tremendous adverse effect on, your energy level, vitality. Then other times you may just simply work through it to the point where you're almost, oblivious, to those issues. Now, let's say if Saturn is in Taurus, as an example, those issues I stated that were tied in with Saturn, physical related issues, may be more stubborn, persistent, maybe more enduring. Saturn in Aquarius, those issues may be more sporadic, erratic, intermittent. They may be more nerve related. Saturn in Virgo may be more worrisome, issues, with that. And the thing about, this aspect as well, is that, you may either be exceptionally disciplined, which is Saturn, in terms of, your energy, which is Mars, or, that energy may be more, non-existent in terms of, the discipline, energy, or maybe times where a lot of your actions may be exceptionally consistent and planned, and then other times it could go just the opposite, where there's just so much spontaneity in whatever you're doing that there's no, planning, deliberation, or just, no premeditation in whatever, you're doing, or it could just be a lot of impulsiveness at times as opposed to discipline energy. So, the key again is to find a balance and equilibrium between the two energies. It's good to have, disciplined energy, but sometimes it can be enjoyable just to kind of do things on the fly and, do things more, with spontaneity and extemporize. So let's say, for example, if Mars is in Aquarius, those actions, may be tied in with humanitarian, altruistic endeavors. It could be doing something associated with astrology, astronomy, computers, electronics, meteorology, aviation, innovation, as some examples. And there also may be times where you have that exorbitant drive and motivation, which is Mars, for your responsibilities, which is Saturn, or not at all. Now, if Saturn, going back to the zodiac sign Cancer as an example, those responsibilities may be home, family related, introverted matters, doing things, with laundry, or plumbing, or cooking, or baking. As some examples, it could be some kind of home remodeling or renovation. Another thing, too, about this aspect is that, you may either put, it could be tremendous emphasis in terms of taking precautions, which is Saturn, at the place of business against Saturn, or in terms of, preventing the potential accidents, which is Mars, or not at all. It could be, sometimes where you're just doing one thing after another and being supremely cautious and making sure that, the place is about as accident-free as you could possibly get it. And other times, you just may, be oblivious to it and just simply, forget, about these things, whether it's because you're just dominated by whatever you're doing there, and you might be extremely distracted or whatever the reason. Maybe, Saturn is in Pisces as an example. It could be an emphasis on, slipping, or, if it's something with chemicals at the place, making sure that they're not breaking or causing, a slip or some kind of even explosion, possibly, things of that nature. Saturn is Scorpio is another example. It could be things connected with trash and refuge, such as, trash compactor. That's another example. Anyway, people, that'll conclude this YouTube astrological segment. Until next time, everyone saying stay